Welcome to GCCars. My name is Eric.
And I'm Jesse.
And this is the all-new Honda HR-V. So all new for 2023, the new HR-V actually grew quite a bit. This used to be like a pretty standard subcompact SUV, but for this new generation, they made it quite a bit larger. It's actually kind of in between being a subcompact and a compact SUV now. But as always, we're going to take a look at it and see if it's worth it. We're going to take a look at the exterior first, then we're going to take a look at the engine, then we're going to drive it and compare it to the competition in the end. Starting off with the exterior. This is colored in crystal black, pearl, crystal black.
Crystal pearl.
Black crystal pearl.
Something like
I
that.
hope you're right on that. It's
Yeah.
black, the perfect color for Canadian winter, so it's never dirty at all. But what do you think of the front?
I'm a fan. Like, as far as Hondas go, this is more sporty and more sleek than I'm used to seeing.
Agreed.
Especially these headlights. I'm loving the headlights.
Yeah, the headlights, honestly, they're really good. I like them.
But the grille.
It makes it look a little bit like a whale. You know those whales, like kind of like the big ones? I don't know if you know which. I'm
Beluga?
talking about the very, no, different one. You don't know your maritime animals. What? No,
I don't know what kind of mammal it looks like, but I just know that I wish we saw a kind of continuation from these headlights. This, to me, is a bit of a distraction.
yeah, I agree. It doesn't work entirely, but I don't hate it. It works. It's just a little bit odd from certain angles.
The front end is my favorite part of the car, personally.
I can agree on that. Moving over to this side, first of all, what I always like to see, we have relatively small wheels, giving us but a lot of tire side wall. Sorry, it's cold, it's hard to talk. Meaning, first of all, if you hit a pothole, not too bad. The wheels and the tires will absorb a lot of that. And if you accidentally curb it, you won't actually damage your wheels as much.
Eric needs that protection.
Excuse me. First video, always snarky. Side profile, it's an SUV, like literally. It looks like any other SUV on the side. But moving to the back, yeah, what do you think?
I'm kind of indifferent about these lights. I don't hate them, don't love them.
Yeah, I agree. I kind of agree. Like, I feel like if we invert those lights and have them go up and down instead of down and up like they do right now, they'd look a little bit more, the SUV would look a little bit more tall, a bit more presence on the road, but overall, like, it works, it's inoffensive, it's a Honda, it's all right.
Yeah, it's not bad. I'd probably give the entire package out of 10, probably a 7.
Yeah, like 7. I'm kind of in between 6 and 7, but 7 works for me. Let's take a look at the interior though and see if we like it in there. Alrighty, now in the car, excuse the weather. So, honestly, I think it's actually quite nice. For like a compact, small SUV for sub 40K, I think it looks really nice. We have like all the touch points, nice leathers. It looks really cool. I like the design of the center console. We have a bit more cubbies down here. Physical controls for our HVAC, right? So we don't have to go through an infotainment.
Soft touch up here.
Right?
It's clean. It's not fancy, it's clean. I'm not a huge fan of the tablet style infotainments, but it's not bad. And I like how you have multiple places to put your phone. Some cars kind of skimp on this area here.
True.
They don't give you an option to put your phone there. I like that personally.
Usability is really good. One thing you would criticize a little bit was on the side, the doors, the door cubbies aren't as roomy for like storage of bottles and kind of stuff like this.
Was very tight to fit in there, and that's not really an overly big cup.
Yeah, it's like a Yeti, like a pretty regular Yeti cup. It's a nice one, but yeah. And yeah, otherwise visually, it's kind of like in the Civic, we have this honeycomb kind of like grill going all across. I think it looks pretty good. I mean, it's a Honda. It's always a bit more conservative utilitarian, right? But it works well. I think it's nice to touch. Yeah, speaking of, you're showing us the piano black down here. Which,
not a fan.
Yeah. You know what the biggest problem for me here though is? The way they designed the shifter, because a lot of times I accidentally go into sport instead of drive. Because you don't go to the side, you just go back, right? So multiple times I was in sport the whole time, didn't realize until I was like, wait, why am I going at 3,000 RPM on the sport mode?
Sport.
And I was just consuming fuel for no reason. So it's like, yeah, like that's why we do it like on the side or in a sport mode. But no, otherwise, the infotainment you already mentioned is the usual Honda system, which is not the most feature-rich, but works well, is reactive, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, wireless, and we have a digital and analog mixed gauge cluster, which has fairly good functionality and pretty much everything you need. Sunroof, and voila.
We have heated steering wheel on this or no?
Yeah, heated steering wheel, heated seats. Seating, what do you think of the seats? I think they're pretty comfy.
They're comfortable.
Manual seats.
No complaints.
No power seats in here, manual seats, but yeah, comfy.
I think for 40K, maybe you could have got power seats.
Yeah, we'll get to the price. There's certainly a bit to talk about on that one. But
Other than that, I like the seats. I like the perforated seats personally, and I like the gray accents. They give it a nice little touch.
It does look pretty nice, I think. I agree. But let's move over to the back seats, and I know you had a bit of complaints about that.
For me, the seats, they lean too far back. I'm not sitting in a natural position, and it makes me kind of want to slide down.
Yeah. But that's kind of how they achieve that you have a bit more headroom, so that we both fit. And I think legroom and headroom is pretty good.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I can definitely see how you got a bit of an issue with kind of like leaning back. You don't really have anywhere to put your head. You don't have USB. You don't have really couples except for in the door, which aren't really that useful, to be honest.
And there's a cubby back here, which I don't really see the utility of.
You can put a wallet there. That's about it. Maybe.
I have an iPhone 13 that fits. If you had a phone bigger than that, it's not fitting in there.
Yeah, and it's pretty scratchy, the plastic on the door. So it's definitely they skimped a little bit on the materials and everything in the back. Lastly, trunk. We have we have right now 24.4 cubic feet of space, and if we put down the second row seats, you get up to 55.1, which is overall a fairly decent amount of space for an SUV this size. With that being said, I think it's time we hit the road. How about that? Okay, now out on the road in the Honda HR-V. As always, we start off with the launch, put in a sport mode, brake torque, and see how quick we go. Yeah, we're not fast.
Oh, wow. I think Usain Bolt will give us a run for our money here.
And it's loud. Okay, so we have
all bark, no bite?
A little bit. So we have a naturally aspirated 2-liter inline 4 producing a whopping 158 horsepower and 138 pound-feet of torque sent to all 4 wheels through a CVT. This was measured by Car and Driver to reach 60 miles an hour in 9.4 seconds, tying the Buick Envision and the Kia Soul for the slowest car I've ever tested in North America.
It's not going to put you back in your seat, that's for sure.
Well, we'll see. I'm going to pull out here. Let me see. I'm flooring it.
Wow.
Speed limit.
Wow.
Whoa. So, also, I feel I should mention that in other markets, this is not called the Honda HR-V, but the Honda Z-R-V, meaning Z Runabout Vehicle for Generation Z, which is me. So I never felt as connected to a car as in this Honda Z-R-V, I must say. It's incredible.
It feels like it revs very high.
Oh, because I'm still in sport mode. Remember when I said it's...
Right.
I'm meant to be in sport mode, but yeah. So, anyhow, yeah, the engine is really the low point here. Like, we don't have enough power. Can you make it work? Yeah.
What's the estimated gas mileage on this?
I can't tell you what the estimated gas mileage is, but what I've been getting is 9 liters.
That's not
combined.
That's not
over 9 liters.
It's not that great.
Is not great for.
I think a CX-5 gets you about 9 liters, and it has a more powerful engine.
Yeah.
And it's a bigger vehicle as well.
I feel like at this point we might just be underpowered, so we have to work the engine more. So, yeah, this is really the low point here.
And this sound, I don't know what this sound is that we're getting here.
Yeah, it's quite noisy. There's a lot of wind noise, the CVT, and like if you're floored, the engine's really loud.
It almost sounds like the fake sound that they put in EV cars. That's the vibe it gives me.
It's like a whine. And I'm pretty sure it's wind, but it could also be transmission. But I'm pretty sure it's wind. Anyhow, transmission test in icy, wet, cold conditions, we're gonna go very slow here. A handling test, of course, I mean. So,
felt okay.
Yeah, it does drive actually pretty nicely. I think it is nice to drive, and the ride quality is actually pretty good. Yep. I think for like a small SUV, sub 40K, it's pretty comfy.
Yeah,
it's pretty comfy. Bumps get absorbed very well. But yeah, the noise really is a thing. Like NVH, there's a lot of noises you hear all the time, either be it the engine, either be it outside wind noises, either be it road noise. It's really not the quietest cabin we've ever sat.
I think it's one of the noisiest cars I've been in.
I think you might be right on that. It's definitely, yeah, it's not quite as.
And we even tried it with music on like low to medium volume. You could still hear the noise in the background.
Yeah, you can't really tune it out. The stereo system, although it's pretty good, I'd say it's about like average.
Average, yeah.
It's not bad, not amazing, but it works. And yeah, other than that, well, it's pretty effortless to drive. I mean, it's a CVT with a 2-liter. It's as long as you kind of drive around the limitations you have in terms of power, you will be fine. Like, it's not like when you pull on the highway on-ramp that you're not going to be able to get up to speed.
Just take a little bit more effort.
Exactly, yeah, just kind of anticipate the lack of power a little bit.
Might have maybe lacking some passing power.
Yeah, but you can make it work, is basically what we're saying. But that pretty much also brings us to the last point, which is kind of the assist system, and we really have what we need here, and that is like our emergency front braking. We have a pretty good lane keep assist and actually a lane centering assist. So
blind spot monitoring.
With blind spot monitoring, exactly. On the highway, I can turn on my lane centering assist, and it kind of steers for me. Of course, as always, this is a semi-autonomous system. You have to keep your hands on the steering wheel at all times, but especially if you drive a lot, it does offer a bit of relaxation, kind of like a extra safety system on top. But at a price of $39,965.30, what do we think of that price?
I mean, I just think Mazda. That's what I think at that price.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same, because if we compare subcompact to subcompact, we got the Mazda CX-30, which admittedly is a little bit smaller. Like I said, this is kind of in between segments, but the CX-30 gives us definitely more kind of a nicer cabin and nicer feel for less money. And even if we look here at Honda, for the 5K less, you get a well-equipped brand new CR-V, with more space, more power, more tech, more comfort. And this is kind of just awkwardly placed in price. Like, it isn't quite a compact SUV, so it's smaller than competitors, but even for the same price, less, you can get like a mid-tier Rogue, which once again is gonna have more space, it's gonna be nice, it's gonna have tech, it's just a little bit difficult to really say this isn't a good price here.
For me, it's the mix of the underpowered engine and the noise.
Yeah, it's just not a luxurious experience in that regard. It's not very refined. So I think overall it's not a bad car. There's a lot good here. I think we like the interior, but the design is pretty good, and most of the driving is fine, effortless. But really, if you're looking at an HR-V, go for like a mid-tier or like base variant with a few options. Like the top version we have here is really not the way to go, I think.
I would agree. It's aesthetically, it's nice, but performance-wise, falls a bit short.
I agree. Alrighty, so yeah, that's our verdict. It's pretty decent, but unfortunately, various little concerns and price. With that being said, I think it's time to get to the end here. Thank you very much for watching. We are stuck behind something that is going 35 in 70, so that's why we're just kind of like, you know, rolling along. At least our battery can charge.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you liked it, make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see each other in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. And goodbye. And goodbye.
Catch you guys later. Cut that out.